Hello friends, in this lecture we will cover the last topic of our unit number 6, that is the cellular concept and the GSM architecture. Actually these two topics, that is cellular concept and GSM architecture, are the subtopics of the mobile communication system. Now the learning outcomes. Now after studying these topics, student will be able to understand first what is mobile communication, then what is cellular concept, and the detailed block diagram of GSM technology or the GSM architecture. Now first of all, what is mobile communication? Now mobile communication is the use of technology that allow us to communicate with other in different locations without the use of any physical connection, that is wires or cables, and the mobile communication makes our life easier and it saves the time and the efforts. Now if you see the communication channel, our communication channel or communication media are basically divided into two types, that is wired and wireless communication. Your mobile communication, it totally depends on wireless communication, means here there is no physical connection of wires or cables. And a mobile phone, and it is also called as a mobile cellular network or the cell phone or hand phone, is the example or is the best example of the mobile communication or wireless communication. It is an electric device which use the full duplex, that is two-way radio communication or two-way radio telecommunication over a cellular network of base station known as the cell site. Means if you see the modes of transmission of the communication, then you will observe the modes of transmissions are basically divided into three types, that is simplex or half duplex and full duplex. Our mobile communication works on the full duplex, because in full duplex system your sender and receiver can transmit or receive the data at a time or simultaneously. Now let's start with the cellular concept. First we will see the what is the principle behind the cellular technology. Now in cellular technology, the large geographical area is divided into small geographic regions called as cells, and hence this technology is named as a cellular technology, and the conventional radio phones got the names, that is cell phones. Now if you observe the two pictures, that is high power transmitter and low power transmitter. Now high power transmitter is one area, and that area is again divided into small areas like your low power transmitters, and these low power transmitters are nothing but what? The cells. So the large geographical area is divided into small geographic regions called as an cells, and this is the principle behind the cellular technology. First of all, divide your large area into small geographic areas, and that areas are nothing but what? The cells, and this technology is called as an cellular technology. Now in cellular concept or in cellular technology, one important concept is that what is the cellular system architecture. Now as we know, the large geographical area is basically divided into small geographical areas, and that areas are nothing but what? Our cells, and each cell has a low power antenna installed in the form of unit called as an base station. Now here if you observe the picture, then you will observe there are total number of 7 cells, that is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, means total number of 7 cells, and each cell have a low power antenna which is installed in the form of unit called as an base station. So for each cell the base station is different, which has the low power. Now let's see what is meant by cluster. Now cluster, it's called as a group of cells. Now here n equals to 7 means this cluster indicates there are total number of 7 cells are present, that is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, total number of 7 cells, means the group of 7 cells is a cluster, means it is a cluster of total number of 7 cells. Similarly, the another example, if suppose n equals to 3, now total number of cells are 3, that is A, B and C. So this is the cluster having group size of 3. Similarly, the next example, if suppose total number of cells are 4, that is A, B, C, D. So the group of 4 cell is the cluster. This is important concept, that is what is meant by cell and cluster. Now cell is nothing but what? The large geographical area is divided into small area, and that one area is nothing but what? The cell, and the group of these cells is nothing but what? The clusters. Now next, that is geometries eligible for the cells. Now if you observe the shape of cell, your each cell is present in hexagon in nature, or your each cell is hexagon in nature. Now why each cell is hexagon in nature? Now if suppose equilateral triangle, if suppose instead of hexagon you are using equilateral triangle, then that indicates it covers only 17.77% area of the circle. Means the area of coverage is very minimum for the equilateral triangle. Means if the cell size or cell shape is equilateral triangle, then it will cover only 17.77% area of the circle. That's why we are as a cell, equilateral triangle is not a suitable. Similarly, another example, if suppose instead of equilateral triangle you are considering square. Now if you consider the square, then it covers only 63.77% area of the circle. Now if you compare your equilateral triangle with the square, then obviously your square shape covers the large area as compared to your equilateral triangle. It covers the 63.77% of area of the circle. But if you consider the hexagon, then hexagon covers maximum area, that is 83% of area of the circle. Now if you compare these three shapes, that is equilateral triangle or square or hexagon, then you will observe that. Now let's see the block diagram of GSM system. First of all, what is GSM? GSM stands for Global System for Mobile Communication, and in this block diagram we will cover how mobile to mobile communication will be carried out. Now first part of the GSM system is the mobile station. Now your mobile station consists of two modules, that is SIM, and second one is your ME, that is mobile equipment. Now SIM stands for subscriber identity module, while ME stands for your mobile equipment or your mobile device, and combination of your SIM and mobile equipment is nothing but what? The mobile station. Now the mobile station communicates across the air interface with the base station transceiver in the same cell in which the mobile subscriber unit is located, and the mobile station communicates the information with the users and modifies the transmission protocols if the air interface to communicate with the BSS, that is base station subsystem. The user's voice information is interfaced with the mobile station through a microphone and the speaker for the speech or keypad and display for short messaging, and the cable connection for the other data terminals. Now the mobile station has basically two elements, that is mobile equipment, that is ME, and it is also referred as an physical device which comprises the transceiver or digital signal processors and the antenna. And the second element of mobile station is the subscriber identity module, that is SIM, and the SIM card is unique to the GSM system, and the SIM card has a memory of 32 KB. Now the next part of the communication system or GSM technology is the base station subsystem, and your mobile station and base station subsystem, that is BSS, will interfere or will interference by using the interference. Now the base station subsystem, it consists of BTS, that is base transceiver station, then BSC, that is base station controller. Now a base station subsystem consists of base station controller and one or more base transceiver station. Each base transceiver station defines a single cell. A cell can have radius between the 100 meters to 35 kilometers depending on the environment. And a base station controller may be connected with the BTS, that is base transceiver station, and it may control the multiple BTS units and hence the multiple cells. And there are two main architecture elements in the BSS, that is base station subsystem. That is, first one is the base transceiver subsystem, that is BTS, and the base station controller, that is BSC. And the interface that connects the BTS and BSC is called as an ABIS interface. And the interface between BSC and the mobile station is called as interface. And the next part of the GSM system is the network switching subsystem or network subsystem. It is also called as an NSS. Now the NSS or the network switching subsystem is responsible for the network operation, and your base station subsystem and network subsystem are connected by using the interface called as an A interface, and which is standard for the GSM technology. Now the NSS is responsible for the network operation, and it provides the link between the cellular network and the public switching telephone network, that is PSTN, ISDN or data networks. And the NSS controls the handoffs between the cells in different BSS or authentication of users and validation of the accounts. And it also includes the functions like enabling the worldwide roaming of the mobile subscriber. And the network switching subsystem, that is NSS, mainly consists of MSC, that is mobile switching center, then the HLR, that is home location register, then VLR, that is visitor location register, then AUC, that is authentication center, and EIR, that is equipment identity register. Now the MSC basically performs the switching function of the system by controlling calls to and from other mobile and the data system, and it includes the functions such as the network interfacing and the common channel signaling. Now let's see the working of our HLR, that is home location register. Now HLR is the database software that handles the management of the mobile subscriber account, and it stores the subscriber address, then service type, then the current location, then forwarding address, then authentication and billing information. In addition to the ISDN telephone numbers for the terminal, the SIM card is identified within an international mobile subscriber identity module, that is IMEI number, which is totally different from the ISDN telephone number. And the HLR is the reference database that permanently stores the data related to the subscriber, including the subscriber's service profile, also the location information and its activity status. Then the VLR. Now what is VLR? VLR stands for the visitor location register. VLR is the temporary database software similar to the HLR, identifying the mobile subscriber visiting inside the coverage area of the mobile switching center, that is MSC. And the VLR assigns the temporary mobile subscriber identity, that is TMSI, that is used to avoid the using IMEI number on the air. And the visitor location register maintains the information about the mobile subscriber that is currently physically in the range covered current location or by the switching center. Then the next part is the AUC, that is authentication center. Now the authentication center or the AUC database holds the different algorithms that are used for the authentication and encryptions of the mobile subscribers that identify the mobile user's identity and ensure the confidently of the each call. And the authentication center or AUC holds the authentication and encryption keys for all the subscriber in both the home as well as the visitor location register. And the last part, that is EIR, that is Equipment Identity Register. Now the EIR is another database that keeps the information about the identity of the mobile equipment, such as the International Mobile Equipment Identity, that is IMEI, that reveals the details about the manufacturer, then the country of the production and the device type. Now this information is used to prevent the calls from the being misused, to prevent the unauthorized or defective MSCs, to report the stolen mobile phones, or check if the mobile phone is operating according to the specification of its type or not. This is all about the network switching subsystem. Thank you.